Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. If not, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Watch the Tobin and Leroy show weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You guys can watch that on the WQAM YouTube and Twitch page, Miami 560 WQAM, weekdays, 10 a.m. to 2. So, Miami Dolphins making an announcement on this Sunday as we are working our way to cut down day, 4 p.m. on Tuesday to have the 53-man roster set. But the big one that got most of the headlines, even though it wasn't very interesting, was the backup quarterback job. Mike White got the old heave-ho today. He was released by the Miami Dolphins, and the man they signed to a 2-year deal last year, he is now a free agent and no longer on the Dolphins roster, which means Skylar Thompson won the backup job. Not too big of a surprise based on what had gone on this preseason. I mean, if you wanted to talk yourself into like, oh, they were given different chances, different opportunities, they kind of were. Like, they gave Mike White this last chance to go with the, starters that were out there for the final preseason game. And even Mike McDaniel, alluded to that. We gave him out there with the starters. Look, man, first of all, competition-wise, flat out outperformed by Skylar Thompson, who has shown he's a good preseason quarterback. He kind of just lets it rip. This is not a perfect prospect. This is not a man that I would want to start 16 games, 17 games for the Miami Dolphins. But if we're just talking about what was on their roster, I thought it was pretty clear that Skylar Thompson was preferred by the coaching staff just based on how they treated the preseason. This isn't even, I'm not a guy who goes out to every practice. I got to go to one training camp this year where neither, I think, really stood out. But, from all the reports, it was weird. There was one where it was like one Barry Jackson report because they had to like tiptoe around. They don't say, who's on second team, who's on first team, even though it's really stupid. Like, the fans are out there. I don't understand why this is something that has to be held, but they were all like, yeah, he was getting the majority of the second team snaps anyway. But even if you just looked at the game, like started a preseason game, came in after Tua, and then today or this weekend, essentially they benched Mike White. He was so bad. Like they let Mike White roll out there, see what he could do, and it was not much. He did not have a very impressive performance, and I just thought Skylar Thompson pretty clearly won the job of this much maligned battle that everybody was like, go get us Tannehill. And I'm still not into that. I do think that Mike White, nice story. They bring in the hometown kid. They've done this now every county over the last 5 years. You've had Teddy Bridgewater, you've had Jacoby Brissett, you've had Mike White. They have done this. None have been awful. Nobody has really been that impressive. And Skylar Thompson, Mike White was brought in last year because I think they probably thought to themselves, well, Skylar wasn't super great as a rookie. We kind of need some insurance. Is he really ready to take the job next year? I get why they did that. But now he's going into year three in the offense. And I think the coach just trusts him more. I think that he trusts the guy to let it rip, be himself a little bit more. I think, hearing him after this game talk about the development he's had of just, having fun, letting some plays happen, throwing the ball out. Look, neither of these guys are like Tua. They're not guys who get rid of the ball particularly quickly. They can make some plays downfield. But I think that Skylar's got just a little bit more mobility to him. He's just got a little bit more to his game. A little bit more of a gunslinger that we've seen basically since he earned his way onto the roster his rookie year. So, not a surprise. Not a surprise. And as you heard, if you heard Mike McDaniel, he was, showering Skylar with the praise of all the growth that he has had. And I think this was 2 days ago, and you already could kind of hear that, he's made his decision on who he's going with.
With Skylar, he got the opportunity to play early in his career, and I thought as a rookie, he demonstrated some aggressiveness and and ability to make plays in this league. And then it's been about, since then, training his craft, really owning the quarterback position within the offense. And I thought this preseason he's exhibited growth in what that means. That means you are the leader of the unit, that you have to orchestrate play calls, decision making, all of those things. And I thought he took a good step forward tonight.
Yeah, I thought that it was pretty obvious from the tone of Mike McDaniel that we were probably heading in this direction. I don't think any rocket scientists out here. You don't need to be the Sherlock Holmes of Doll fans to figure out. I feel like, all right, he's started a game. He came in first. This game was a little bit wonky. They let Mike White have a chance. All right, this is kind of Mike White's last chance. Can you go light up? And he did not. So yeah, congrats to Skylar. I thought that he earned the job was earned. And I will say, for my only critique on Mike McDaniel, I just say that one play where he left him out to dry on a 4th and 8, which ended up getting they ended up being lucky that they called it an incomplete pass, because it probably should have been a strip fumble. I thought that was that was kind of leaving Mike White out to dry, but it was basically like, come on, kid, what do you got to lose? And let's see what he could do. And it did feel like Mike White played uberly cautious. I understand he's not playing with the greatest receivers out there, that he's not got this bevy of talent, but you also can't hold on to the ball forever, and you can't have the most heinous plays happen. And it happened to him multiple times where he was holding the ball forever, and it ended up in a blindside hit fumble recovery that was catastrophic. So I do think that but this whole thing that Mike McDaniel tried to dance around with people, where he's like, we're trying to make things difficult on our quarterbacks. And I just was like, dude, I'm a Mike McDaniel fan. I like his vibe. I like the fact that he's a bit of a different cat. But there's a line between being different and being a bullshitter. And I just thought that was just complete horseshit that he was throwing to everybody, like, oh, yeah, I'm trying to make things. Like, no, you're not. Like, sometimes I do think it's okay to just say the way things are, or even if they're not going well, you don't have to put up this whole facade like, oh, we're planning all this. We want to see how they handle being bad or in bad situations. Like, wait, what? What do you mean? I don't. So it didn't even make make sense half the time. And the Dolphins in a couple of these preseason games got into weird positions because it got super thin at the end. But I didn't understand the need to put up this charade like Mike White was dealing with this grand plan from the Dolphins to make this super hard on him. No, this is, first of all, he's been a backup quarterback. He doesn't know what a hard life it is in the preseason to try and make plays and make things happen. I don't understand that. That was so unnecessary to make that happen. Other moves today, Jody Forston, he was cut. He's released. Not a big surprise the way the tight end battle was going out. And then Anthony Schwartz got on IR, season-ending injury for him. He said, it was a lifelong dream of mine to put on these colors and play for the home team. Sad how 2024 ends, but God has never steered me wrong. And put up a couple pictures of him in the Dolphins jersey. Unfortunate. Dude can fly. Bummer what happened to him in this game. And yeah, not the most ideal camp for him either with dealing with what he was dealing with. But yeah, none of these I think today you could quantify as jaw dropping. I don't even know if there's going to be one that the Dolphin is going to be like, whoa, I did not see that one coming. Because you got a really crowded battle with DB. And then with running back, what's the decision going to be there? Jeff Wilson or Chris Brooks? Jalen Wright obviously again showed guy's going to be a big factor. You already have your top 3 backs. Does Jeff Wilson, even want to be in a situation like that, or does he want to be in a place where he thinks he can go and get some real impact carries? Because I don't think that's going to happen here with the Dolphins very clearly having Mostert, having Achane, and now also you add in Jalen Wright to the mix, who also just has been making explosive play after explosive play in the preseason. That also seems set. But the big one that got all the headlines, this one is settled. Skylar Thompson is QB2. And as far as landing on Skylar Thompson, is this a good enough backup? Look, again, do I want Skylar Thompson starting a full season? No. But 3 years in the offense, a guy that the quarterback knows, the quarterback coach knows, has been in some rocky spots, even as a rookie. Like, he is, it doesn't get a lot tougher than, hey, road game, go to Buffalo, see what you got, kid. And I think that from that standpoint, everybody even thinks back, like, he had throwing the ball down the field. Jalen Waddle maybe makes a big catch for him. Momentum, shifts in a little bit. So yeah, Skylar Thompson, I'm not sitting here and I don't think is the greatest quarterback in the world. I don't think many people have backups that they're absolutely thrilled with. Even if you were to say the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have a neck and neck battle for QB1, feels great about where they are as a backup situation. Well, they certainly don't feel happy with where they are as a starter, right? So I'm not about going into the well and saying, you got to go get Tannehill. If, the unthinkable happens to your starting quarterback, do you have to go think about it? That's a different conversation. But to say, hey, if Tua got banged up in a game, the guy who knows it will go out there, run around, make some crazy plays, and I think he's going to be in an okay spot. I'm not sweating it. I'm not in this spot where I feel like the Dolphins have to get desperate and go get somebody else. I know that people are freaking out. I got other things on the roster I quite frankly am more worried about than quarterback, and certainly the backup quarterback. Like, I think that was the most overblown training camp story I can remember in recent memory for the Dolphins, of like, oh my God, these guys are so bad. What are we going to do? I'm like, so you want to go get the former first round pick for the Dolphins? That's what you want to do? All right. Like, that was complete, like, headline grab fodder to get us through a week. But I think they're going to be all right.